Hi, I'm Lulu. I'm a compulsive overeater. And today, our topic is going to be dining out while abstinent. That comes up a lot because, well, it's really interesting times right now with the pandemic because restaurant going is minimal anyway. So that's very helpful for anybody that's getting abstinent right now. But let's just talk about in your average circumstances where restaurants are open and restaurants seem to be a big part of um, social life. Um, so um, it's possible to eat at restaurants and be abstinent. So you have two choices. You either bring your scale and you weigh everything and you ask about everything. Okay, so you say, are those potatoes plain? Is there any butter on those green beans? What is that like? Do you have chicken that's not marinated in anything? Because I'm telling you, there's going to be sugar on everything. There's any like sauces or butters, like trust me, it'll be like brown sugar butter. It won't even be sweet, and there's sugar in it. The salad dressings. So when I go to a restaurant, you can never get enough veggies. Like on the food plan that we follow on this program, like if you'd never go to a restaurant, you'd get a 16-ounce bowl of spaghetti, but you'd never get a 16-ounce bowl of salad because most people don't want that, but we want that. So I know if I go to a restaurant and order a salad, I know it's going to be a fraction of the veggies that I need. So what I do is I go right to the menu part of the menu that says side orders, and I look for steamed broccoli, roasted asparagus, grilled asparagus, or all things like that. You might even find baked potato. That's going to be, you're going to know that potato's plain, where maybe in the front of the menu they're talking about potato au gratin and potato this and so I find I have better luck when I go to those side orders. And then um even like if you get say a salmon dinner. So you ask and you say, can I have my salmon just plain grilled, like without any sauces or marinades? And people are, you know, for a waiter or a waitress to get specific questions and instructions about how people want things prepared is very, very common today, with allergies, with gluten this and sugar-free this and vegan and all these reasons that people need to, and allergies, people that have food allergies. And a lot of the menus today, it says, please, you'll see it will say right at the top, please ask if you need anything special. It will say it right there. And it's just like, yeah, I need something special. I might not be a diabetic and I have to make sure there's no sugar in my salad dressing because I'm a diabetic that takes care of myself. Or if I'm allergic to nuts, I'm going to say, is there any nuts in this? Is there any nuts in that? And, uh, but I have something that I need to take care of. I don't want to put that stuff in my body. I'm not going to play with fire. I'm just not going to do it. So what I do is I ask questions. And so you would say, can I get that chicken just plain? Is the potato plain? And then I would say, so say it came with a salad. I would say, can I have the oil and vinegar on the side, right? So then you would manage your own oil, which is what we do measure that, and then put in vinegar, which is a condiment that we can use freely. Salt and pepper. You got a nice salad, and then maybe the meal comes with a veggie. Just ask about it. Just say, does that have? And you're not a pain in the ass. You're basically just somebody that's taking care of themselves. Like, I'm just taking care. I'm going to ask you these questions because this is how good I am to myself. I really want to make sure I'm going to get exactly what I need because you know something, I am fantastic. And I take really good care of myself. So you don't have to feel like you're trouble. And then I love like when they bring everything just as I asked, and I'm just like, I just look at the waiter and say, you're just like amazing. You're amazing. Like, look at how you took care of me, And they like that. They want to do that, And then you just tip them big if you get the money, and everybody's happy at the end of the day. I just know when I walk into that restaurant, my only goal is to walk out of that door an abstinent woman. I don't want to walk in there with any kind of wishy-washy in my head. I want to walk out there. So what do I need to do to that I will walk out that door? So the first thing I'm going to do when I get my meal, I'm going to look at it and say, well, that piece of fish looks like, it doesn't look like 4 ounces. It looks like probably 8. So first thing I would do is cut that so I could see exactly what I would either have my scale with me to have it. I've brought my scale to a restaurant before, and I've also been to restaurants without a scale. You've got to, when you've been weighing and measuring for years and years and years, you get pretty good at eyeballing. But you know something? There's just nothing like weighing and measuring. I mean, I prefer to weigh and measure it. But it depends on who I'm with at the table, because I don't want to do anything really awkward, that's going to make somebody else feel awkward. And so I can easily not. But when I'm putting my plate together and I say, okay, this looks like that many ounces, that looks like so now I have a plate off to the side that has all bits and pieces of all the things that I took away. And I look at this plate and I say, if this is what I ate right now, is this an abstinent meal? I'm going to define it before I put my fork in it. I'm going to look at it and I'm going to say, yep, that's to the best of my ability. I have just sorted out all the different food groups. I've come to this meal that is abstinent. So that means I eat that, and then I don't eat anything else that I pushed aside. I mean, what's that about? That's compulsive. That's what compulsive eating is. Then I pack that stuff up, and I have stuff to throw on the scale when I get home when I'm going to have my next meal. I have all that stuff left over. If I've ordered too many veggies, because I ordered the salad, I got the veggie on the side with my meal, and then just for insurance, I went to the side orders and I ordered myself a big plate of steamed broccoli. So I got all these plates are all over the place. And I'm feeling really good about that, because I'm not filling myself. I don't have plates all around me with fried food and pieces of cake and slices of pie. Like, I'm not just sitting there like in a food orgy, I'm just like, I got all these beautiful foods around me that are all nourish me. I just want to make sure I have what I have. And I know I eat a pile of veggies, and it doesn't look normal to a typical restaurateur, but it's normal for me. And it's become my normal. So then I know if I walk out with that little doggy bag with everything that I cut aside, and then I walk out that door, I've walked out that door an abstinent woman, which was my only goal, because I'm going to have fun at this dinner, regardless of the food. It's not what it's about anymore. It's just not what it's about anymore. Frankly, I hardly ever go to a restaurant, because I like my own food better. I like to cook my own food. I like to prepare everything that I love just the way I like it prepared. I like this done just like that. I like this a little crispy, like maybe a little al dente broccoli, and they cook it down too much. And it's not like I'm a fuss bucket, but I just know what I love. And I prepare it myself, and I'm always kudos to the cook. Kudos to the cook. Pat myself on the back. And so, my best piece of advice is just, there's so many other things to do socially. There really is. It doesn't seem like it, because as food addicts, everything social has to do, food is always connected, always connected. So as soon as you disassociate food with socializing and fun, and you get further and further away from that, and you begin to learn how to have fun and enjoy parties and company and birthday parties and holidays when it's not about the food, then that's when you've disassociated it, and you'll see, what do I go to a restaurant for? My friend will call me and say, let's go out for lunch. Would you like to go out for lunch? And I'll say, how about if we meet down the pond and go for a nice walk? It's a beautiful day. And she'll be like, yeah, that sounds great. I don't even have to say, oh, I'm a food addict, and it's hard for me to eat it. I don't. It's like, no, let's go for a walk. So now people know that's when you want to do social things with Lulu. That's kind of what you do. We go walking and hiking and talk, and it's fun. And it's just a new way to have fun. And then I come home and weigh and measure my own meal. So that's what I have on restaurants. And Shalece, what is your experience with restaurants?
Thanks, Lulu. This is Shalece. I'm a compulsive eater and food addict in Phoenix, Arizona. So restaurants, this is such a good topic because it was kind of a mystery to me when I first came into program. I used to eat out a ton, and it was uncomfortable for me at first to just try something different. And I wasn't sure how it was going to work out. So I stuck close to my sponsor and just asked tons of questions like, how do I do this? How do I navigate this? And the abstinence around eating out that we came up with was that I make my plate look as close as possible to my plate, to how my plate looks at home. So I didn't weigh and measure. So actually at first I think I did. Anyway, so my abstinence is I make my plate look as close to my plate as at home as possible. And I treat my food addiction, my physical allergy, exactly like I would if I had a peanut allergy. Like if I had a peanut allergy, I wouldn't be going into restaurants, ordering stuff with peanuts and then just like scooping, oh, it'll be fine if I have just a little bit. No, actually that would kill me if I was allergic to peanuts. My physical allergy, my reaction, my throat doesn't close off and doesn't restrict my breathing. But what my allergy does do is it causes cravings that cannot be satisfied and I can't stop, which will eventually cause all sorts of major health problems for me if I go down that road. So it's a slow, painful death for me. And I prefer not. I prefer not to do that. So I'm very careful. Something that I do is I always look at a menu ahead of time. If my husband often has business meetings that are centered around going out to eat. So I will look at the menu ahead of time. I will call ahead and talk to the chef or talk to whoever I need to talk to. And I actually order my food ahead of time. I say, oh, I'm with this such and such a party, and I have some food sensitivities, and I need to take care of ordering before I come. So then I'm not like sitting there with 30 other people, because they're often big dinners. I'm not going, oh, well, what about this? And how about does this? No, I have it all sorted out before I even get there. Like all I have to do is say, oh yes, I called ahead and I placed an order. So you've got it already. And that's it. Like easy peasy. Like I don't need to worry about a thing. I love planning ahead. And then also often with the way my husband's work goes, they'll do dinners at like 8:30 at night. And that does not work for me. I am on a schedule. I have kind of a window of when I eat. It's not like spot on exact, but it's kind of this window because I don't want to get ravenously hungry and I just really take care of myself. So if my husband's work or work parties or family things, if I know they're going to be eating at 8 and I'm like, I'm going to like be ravenously hungry and that's just not going to work for me, then I will just order a cup of tea and eat ahead of time. Like I don't mess around with that. So again, it's not just, it's not food is so far down the list of things that I worry about today. Like I just do what I need to do and it just feels good to just take care of myself. And I like Lulu, like I don't eat out a whole lot. There have been things that like I just eliminated dairy and onions last year, and it's hard to get things like sometimes what I need when I go out. So I just prefer to eat at home, but I do go out when I do choose to eat out, I do it with confidence. And I know, like, if there's a restaurant that doesn't have that I know specifically doesn't have, let's say, a grain, then I'll pack my own grain. I'll take a little thermos with my rice and I'll take that with me, or rice cakes. Or if I know that I'm only going to be able to get a certain amount of vegetables, then I'll bring a little baggie with vegetables in my purse. I'm not shy. I do what I do what I got to do to take care of myself. And there's just not any greater feeling than being abstinent. Like, I just love just knowing that I'm free from that and I don't have those cravings that pull me under. And it's just such a gift. So planning ahead is huge. Also for traveling, like if I travel, I will make my meals ahead of time and plan exactly what I'm going to do. I know exactly. I don't wing it. I don't wing anything with my abstinence because it's that precious to me. So yeah, if anybody has any questions about eating out, and actually, Lulu, you raised your hand. Do you have something else to add?
Yeah, I also wanted to talk about, those times where you're going to like a function, like you're going to, like, say, a luncheon after a funeral, or you're going to like an anniversary party that's at like this hall and they're going to have dancing and a meal. And, sometimes I don't even want to bother with what they're serving, how is it going to work for me, find out who the caterer is so I can call. And I just bring my own meal and I leave it in the car. And if things are going to wrap up, like Shalece said, there's a certain time frame. Like if I start getting really starving, I would rather just be at that little luncheon after the funeral and just go around and talk and be with everybody, while they're eating cold cuts and potato salad, all that stuff that I don't eat, right? So, but all I know is like the minute I'm like, yeah, I kind of think I need to eat because I don't think this is going to be wrapping up soon. Just go out to my car and I'm all set. I just bring it in. And everyone knows, like, see, this is what happens when you do this for so long. Everyone knows, like, here's Lulu and her Tupperware. It's just like, wherever she goes, there she is with a Tupperware. And it's like, it's what you're known for. Instead of, oh, here's Lulu. She gained 100 pounds since the last time I saw her. Oh, here's Lulu. She's skinny again. Oh, look at you. You look great. Then the next year, nobody's saying anything because I'm fat again, and it's just like, that's what I did every year. But now it's been 7 years, almost 7 years. And it's just, they just know that I'm not drinking. I'm not going to be eating the lasagna and the eggplant and all this Italian stuff. I just have my own meal. Don't want that stuff. I want what I have. And I truly want it. I truly, like, it's not like I have the booby prize, it's the last thing from a booby prize for me. It's the prize, and so yeah, then people just get it. People will just be like, you're taking your meal with you to like a funeral, and I'll be like, yeah, isn't that strange? Like I'll say it for them. It's a little odd. I know it's odd. That's me, I'll be at work at my desk. This is before I retired, and I'll have my scale out and I'll be weighing my salad that I'm going to have for lunch. And some people walk, coworkers walk by and they're just, oh, hi, how are you? Good, how are you? And then they see my scale and they're like, what are you dealing drugs here or something? Because they see the little digital scale. And we get a laugh, and then they're like, no, really, like, what are you doing? And I was just like, I just weigh my meals. I weigh them. I know it's unusual, but that's just what I do. Oh, then they see that it's vegetables and they're like, you weigh in vegetables? I could see if you were weighing like, cheese or whatever, but they just think it's strange. And I'll be like, yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? It's, I get it. It's just not the usual. I get it. It's not the usual. And I'll just say it for them, just like, yeah, I know it's crazy. And I do it. I guess I'm crazy. And we just laugh it off. And, but, I don't have to explain, well, I'm a food addict. And, really, I can just take good care of myself. I can say, I can plan the birthday party in the office and get the cake and get this everything. And I can just putter around and not eat anything. And guess what? Nobody even notices that you're not eating it. Nobody cares really what you're eating. They care what they're eating, you know. People care a lot less than you think. And so yeah, once you do it for a while, what other people think just doesn't, it's just not even on the radar. Because it's, what am I doing that's so offensive? It's not even offensive, you know, but it feels it because, oh, the first time that, like, you know, somebody's going to make my favorite cookies, and then I'm going to get them and then I'm not going to eat them. Yeah, that doesn't really go over very well, right? But that's just the way it goes. And then they won't make them next year. They'll make them for someone else, you know? And I always tell that story about that coworker I had that we always got each other a piece of cake for our birthday. So if it was her birthday, I would go down Whole Foods and get one little piece of cake, one single serving, put a candle in it. And after lunch, I would sing to her because we worked side by side for like a decade. So we were like this. And I'd sing and then she'd have a cake. And then, so it was my birthday. So now my first abstinent birthday, she knew I was following a food plan. And I don't know that she knew that I wasn't going to like eat cake ever. So I don't think she could process that. She just thought like, yeah, she's just on a diet, you know? And so my birthday came, here comes the cake, the piece of cake with the candle. And I was like, oh, thank you. And she's singing and I'm like dancing while she's singing happy birthday to me. And we're getting all silly and having fun. And then, so it came, I just wasn't going to eat it. I was just going to let it sit there and maybe bring it home for somebody or whatever. And she's like, open it and let's eat it. And I was like, nah, you know something? You know I don't eat sugar. And she's like, not even on your birthday? And I was like, yeah, not even on my birthday. Oh, for Christ's sake. She starts getting all like, you know, you gotta, everything in moderation, Lulu, everything in moderation. And I'm thinking, you have an iota that I don't have a moderate bone in my body. Like, she doesn't even get it, you know? And so then she wasn't happy about that, but I just knew I wasn't going to eat it. And then the next year was my birthday, and she had a fabulous idea. She went to the fruit stand and she got a pear, and it was nice and ripe and perfectly ripe. It was so soft and perfect that a candle went right through it. She cut the bottom off so it would stand up. And she's like, Louie, she used to call me Louie. After lunch, she'd be like, Louie, look what I got for you, right? So she got the candle lit and she's singing, and she's so excited because she's so excited that she was so thoughtful, not getting me the sugar. And then she sings and we blow out the candle, and then it's sitting there because I'm not going to eat it because I don't eat a piece of fruit in the middle of the day. I don't eat like that. I have fruit in the morning. I don't have fruit, you know? And so she's like, let's cut it up like a piece of cake and have it. And I was like, you know something? I'm going to save this for tomorrow morning and have it with my breakfast. She's like, why not just eat it? Well, oh, really? You know I don't eat in between. Oh, dang it. Rah, 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 rah. Oh, my God. I got so much hell for that. And I wasn't going to eat a pear. It's abstinent food. A pear is an abstinent piece of food. But my abstinence doesn't say eat a pear on your birthday. That's just not the way it's defined. And so what my point is that not everybody understands, and no, they don't have to understand. All I know is that I'm not going to eat the cake and I'm not going to eat the pear. But I did take the pear home and I did have it the next day. She didn't throw it at me and hit me on the head with it, so that was good. But but I'm just saying, like, this might be something that you're faced with, and you just say no, and you can just say, yeah, you know, I just don't do that, you know, and you can just brace yourself for them being unhappy with it, and you try to make a joke out of it. And she wasn't having anything to do with a joke. She was bullshit. So anyway, but that's what I got. You got anything else, Shalece, on this?
No, I think that was beautiful. Just again, just to reiterate, nobody else needs to understand what I'm doing except me. Literally, I don't need to explain anything. I don't need to, I don't know. It's just such a peaceful thing to let go of what other people think of what I'm doing and eating or not doing. It's just such a peaceful thing to be centered in a place, and they can think whatever they want, but I'm going to do what I'm going to do and take care of myself.
And also, another thing is when you're out and about and you're picking off a menu and you're thinking, I don't look at that cake that she gave me and say, I can't have that. I can't have that pear. I can eat that cake any day I want. I can eat 15 cakes if I want, but I don't. So I don't eat cake. I don't eat fruit in the middle of the afternoon. When I go to a big buffet, there's nothing here that I eat. Not there's nothing here that I can eat. There's just nothing here that I eat. You know, I don't eat lasagna. I don't eat from the bread basket. I don't eat that stuff. But if I go around with a feel from me, if you want to make people uncomfortable, if I feel like, oh my God, like I want it and I can't, and you're just like drooling over somebody else's food, making people feel uncomfortable enjoying that food because you can't have it. But when you can confidently go in there just knowing that you are just taking good care of yourself, and that's number one right here, number one, because I'm a whole different person. You remember you were saying earlier, Shalece, when you said, it might not kill me like the peanut allergy, but what's going to kill me instantly is my peace of mind and my emotional and spiritual stability will go poof. It will disappear. It will disappear. It might take me a while to put the weight on. It might take me a while to get physically sick, but I am going to instantly be emotionally and spiritually sick. Instantly, in a second, because I will have just done something against my own permission. I will have just done something that I knew, because of everything I learned in step one. I knew I was in trouble to even think about that. And then it's just it wouldn't have a happy ending. So I'm always sure to take good care of myself. And these are in order to do that, I don't eat that, and I don't eat that, and I don't eat that. Not I can't. Can't comes from a place where I wish I could, but I can't. Don't comes from I'm glad I don't. I'm glad I don't eat that. I just don't eat that because I take good care of myself. That's the feel of it. And then everybody's comfortable just eating 10 slices of pizza right next to you because they can feel that you're not fazed by it. It's like, I don't eat pizza. Why would I even entertain the idea? But yeah, so I hope that was helpful.